An ongoing debate takes place on the topic of whether tablets should replace textbooks in K-12 schools, though if you have children, you may have already noticed the impact of the schools making this change. There are pros to replacing textbooks in schools with tablets, but I'm here to tell you that the benefits do not outweigh the complications tablets propose. As many individuals know, smartphones and other handheld devices consume a large part of everyone's lives. We use them to communicate, explore the web, play games, and entertain social media. But how do these devices benefit our kids in K-12 schools? They don't in the long run. Tablets versus textbooks in schools put these kids at risk for health issues. They're expensive to obtain and operate for the schools, and they pose a distraction to students. You may be asking yourself, how do health issues increase with the use of tablets? The use of tablets, especially by children and teens, are associated with the spread of germs and increase the incidence of musculoskeletal disorders like neck strain or text neck, as some may call it. Cell phones and other handheld devices are 10 times dirtier than most toilet seats, according to an article published by Time Health magazine. Most people take their handheld devices with them wherever they go, from the dinner table to bathrooms to doctors' offices. Studies noted within the article have found that more than 17,000 types of bacteria were found on phones and other handheld devices of high school students. We touch all kinds of surfaces containing microbes that we would never see with the naked eye. Children especially touch things that they probably shouldn't, and this only increases the risk of spreading harmful bacteria such as strep, MRSA, and E. coli. Viruses, which are common in childhood, can be spread if one's sick and coughs on one of these devices and then hands it to one of their friends. Having these germs on your skin aren't a concern most of the time, but if they're introduced into your system through a cut or chewing on a pen in class, they could cause considerable damage to your health. Replacing textbooks with tablets can also lead to musculoskeletal problems. Children and teens are much more susceptible to these disorders because their bodies are not fully developed. Text neck is a term used to describe neck pain and damage from looking down at your cell phone, tablet, or other wireless devices too frequently and for too long, according to Stephen Shoshani, a doctor of chiropractic. Though bending your neck to look down is not the only reason. Though bending your neck to look down does not only occur when texting or being on a tablet, but adding the use of tablets in classrooms and in schools as well at home for homework adds one more activity that causes them to look down for longer periods of time. Dr. Shoshani explains that text neck causes neck pain and soreness, and in addition, frequently bending your head to look down at handheld devices can lead to upper back pain, severe upper back muscle spasms, shoulder pain and tightness, and if cervical nerves become pinched, pain and neurological symptoms can radiate down your arms and into your hands. This should be concerning in young growing children because this repetitive, sustained activity can cause permanent damage to their spines and lead to chronic neck pain throughout their lives. The impact of tablets in schools may not only affect the health of our children and teens, but it also puts a financial strain on the schools. If you look at the handout that I provided, you can see how much more expensive tablets are than old-fashioned textbooks. The implementation of tablets in K-12 schools come at a high cost. The schools will be required to purchase the tablets and maintain them. Children are clumsy, and it is expected that they will go through at least one repair or replacement of their tablets through the course of one school year. The school is also responsible for purchasing software for the tablets, which includes applications to access books, homework, updates on software, and protect against viruses on all the devices. The schools must also build Wi-Fi infrastructures to replace the current wired networks that exist or maintain the cost of utilizing both. Teachers and administrators will also need to be trained for the use of the modern technologies, which contributes to the cost of replacing textbooks in K through 12 schools. Lee Wilson, an education market expert, estimates the implementation of tablets in our schools to be 552% higher than purchasing new print textbooks in an average-sized high school. Not only does it cost more to establish the use of tablets in schools, but the cost continues to rise as these tablets need updated software every year versus textbooks that on average can be used 5 to 7 years. Repairs due to crashing and freezing of tablets or being hacked may need to be contracted out, and this adds to the ever-growing expense of using tablets in schools. Lastly, but not least, the use of tablets can become a distraction to students in schools and at home. The world is filled with distractions everywhere we go. Students and their phones today are nearly inseparable. Michael Howard, an author of the blog Distracted by Technology, Focusing Attention on Homework, says, "What might at first glance seem harmless, doing homework or studying while watching TV, texting, or checking social media, can actually impair learning the material as well as lower test scores." Dr. Larry Rosen, a psychology professor at the California State University, conducted 2 studies in support of technology being a distraction to students. In the first study, Dr. Rosen asked the students to study something of importance for at least 15 minutes. He discovered the students beginning to lose focus within 3 minutes to the use of technology. Only 65% of their time was spent on studying, which is not considered quality study time. The second study was at a high school where students of all grade levels were asked how often they switched from studying to surfing the web, checking social media, or texting. All of who were studied, 80% of students stated that they switched between studying and technology often to very often. Dr. David Meyer, a psychology professor at the University of Michigan, says that the prefrontal cortex of the brain is responsible for processing and retaining information. This part of the brain, under most circumstances, cannot perform 2 complex tasks at the same time, such as studying and entertaining social media or texting. The GPAs of students less distracted by social media were much higher than those distracted by it. Allowing tablets to replace textbooks in K through 12 schools increase the amount of distraction from studies in schools and at home. The frequent switching between studying and technology causes assignments to take longer to complete. They fatigue the student mentally and impair their memory of what they are working on if time is divided amongst these activities. In conclusion, replacing textbooks with tablets do not support the cause to increase learning in schools today. While the use of tablets in K through 12 schools have some benefits, they do not outweigh the associated health risks, the expense of utilizing these devices, or the distraction that they create for students. Maintaining a structured environment without the distraction of tablets is crucial for learning and retaining information. I urge you to take the information I have provided you, research this topic as I have, and stand informedly against replacing textbooks with tablets in K through 12 schools. Thank you.
No tablets.